Hello, Lisa Broyles here with Way to Health MD, and these next two videos are part of my genetics series. And I'm going to talk about the most important antioxidant that many people have never heard of, and that's glutathione. And these next two videos are focusing on the role of glutathione and two key enzymes that help glutathione to work properly in our bodies. These enzymes are called the GST, which is the glutathione S-transferase enzyme, and the GPX enzyme, which is glutathione peroxidase enzyme. So the first one, I'm breaking this into two parts just so that I keep your attention to explain glutathione because it's so critical to a healthy body. So I've mentioned glutathione a little bit in prior videos, but if you haven't heard of it, glutathione is an antioxidant. That means that it helps to lower excess toxins in our body. So these toxins include plastics, and you say, where am I getting plastic? Well, plastic, unfortunately, is in our spices, it's in our dairy, it's in our vegetables, it's in most of our food products. It lines the cans of our canned foods. It's our shower curtains, it's our water bottles, it's our food containers, our K-cups for our coffee. Plastic, unfortunately, is in everything. And the problem with plastic is that it mimics estrogen and hormones in our body, and it disrupts our hormone levels. So we don't want too much estrogen. So too many plastics and too many pesticides. So that's glyphosate, which is Roundup, and all the other pesticides that are used in non-organic foods. These all mimic estrogen in the body for both men and women, and they're called xenobiotics. These xenobiotics are harmful to your body. They increase your risk of cancer, arthritis, autoimmune disease. They increase brain fog, joint pain, you name it, autoimmunity, the development of Hashimoto's and ALS and even Alzheimer's. So it's important that we address our toxin load, and that's what glutathione does. So it has multiple key roles in the body. Okay, we've all heard of vitamin C, but glutathione is really what the body uses as its primary shield against the xenobiotics and pesticides and plastics that I've already mentioned, but also mold and heavy metals and infections, bacteria, viruses. Any kind of infection, your body needs glutathione to protect itself. So how does glutathione actually work? So glutathione needs two enzymes that everybody has, but genetically yours may not be functioning optimally. And this is really the point of this video, is to explain what these enzymes do for glutathione and why you should care. So first of all, the glutathione S-transferase enzyme, the GST, what it does is it is the hands for glutathione. It helps the glutathione to bind to the xenobiotics, to the pesticides, the toxins, the heavy metals, the molds, infections, plastic residues, Roundup, all of that. The glutathione can't grab onto it to remove it effectively without a properly working GST enzyme. The second enzyme that I want you to know about is called GPX, and that's the glutathione peroxidase. And its job is to help your body get rid of hydrogen peroxide. So we've all had a little bottle of hydrogen peroxide that we've put on cuts, and we watch the cool bubbles, and then the infection usually gets better. That is hydrogen peroxide, but in the body, hydrogen peroxide is a byproduct of your mitochondria using oxygen for fuel to produce something called ATP, which is the primary building block of energy for all of your cells. And as I've said before, your mitochondria are your batteries. So if your mitochondria and your body senses a lot of stress, then it's going to ramp up its production of ATP to combat this stress. Well, guess what? That means extra hydrogen peroxide, and you need to be able to get rid of that. So the GPX enzyme helps the glutathione grab onto that hydrogen peroxide and turn it into water that's eliminated through our kidneys. So if your GPX enzyme isn't working properly, then you're going to have higher levels of hydrogen peroxide in your body than you should. So signs of too much hydrogen peroxide in your body are premature graying or white hair, increased brain fog, chronic fatigue, which there's many things that can cause those, but low glutathione, high hydrogen peroxide levels will cause premature graying, as I've said in my previous videos. So you can see the importance of the GST and the GPX enzyme. So if you are born with a less than optimal polymorphism in those genes, then they don't work real well. So even if you are eating the right foods and doing the right thing, you could be really chemically sensitive. So I have multiple patients with severe chemical sensitivities. They can't stand certain smells. They can't walk into certain stores. They can't smell perfumes. It can trigger a migraine or runny nose, or even so far as severe brain fog, bloody nose, severe illness. So there's lots of people with multiple chemical sensitivities, and part of that, those people were probably born with a reduced ability of the GST or the GPX enzymes. The other enzymes that affect that is the methylation, which is part of your detoxing, which I've talked about in my MTHFR video. So stay tuned for part 2 so we can figure out how we can build our glutathione levels and get these enzymes working efficiently.